What is the role of art in self-care? I've been an artist all my life, so today I decided to take a walk down memory lane and introduce you to two special guest speakers who have a unique perspective on what it takes to achieve work-life balance as a small business owner. All right, hey guys, welcome back to the show. This is Sarah Nadler, your host, and today I am super excited because I have a very special guest for you. Her name is Christy Rivera. She's the owner of the Mason Rivera Sculpture Garden and Art Gallery out here in McMinnville, Oregon. She also happens to be my stepmother, and she's a fantastic artist. And today we're going to be talking about art and its role in self-care as a small business owner. And how has art shaped the way you approach self-care? I know when I was a teenager, anytime something stressful happened, because I was a ballerina, I just brought that to the bar and I beat the heck out of my body in an effort to beat the heck out of my demons, if that makes sense, right? And by the time I was sweating and sore and had completely nailed that move, I really felt like whatever had been going on mentally or spiritually for me was kind of ironing itself out.
Well, first of all, I have to say I'm also a dancer, so I completely am tracking with you on that. And as a matter of fact, I do a lot of dancing to help with stress.
I always felt like I was conquering my body a little bit, right? Like it pushes back at you as a dancer. It tells you, no, you can't. And life constantly tells you, no, you can't.
Exactly.
And when you nail that move and when you stretch to that point, and I'm imagining welding is the same. Like you are conquering that piece of rusty metal and turning it into something.
Exactly. Let me tell you, because as a matter of fact, the physical universe is like pushing against you and you have to go and confront that. So I go and I start, and once you get going, then you start feeling a little better, and then by the end of the day, you've created this amazing sculpture, and you just confronted all of that, and you're like, wow, I did that.
So while Christy is an amazing example of how one small business owner is using art to express herself and to achieve work-life balance, I have another special guest speaker who has a message for you. Hey guys, today I have a very special guest with me. This is Joe Rivera. He's my father, and he's also the owner of Advanced Recovery Corporation right here in Portland, Oregon, and also happens to be the owner of this beautiful Mason Rivera Art Gallery, which you've been seeing some footage of so far. So I wanted him to talk to you about one of the things he does to manage stress, which is dancing.
Okay, well, I started out obviously, as most people do, doing a little dancing in high school and stuff like that, back in the day. That was many years ago. And I've danced off and on. My wife and I did a little ballroom back in the 90s and then again in the early 2000s. Here in recent years, she suggested we take a little class a couple of years ago. And at the time, I was just kind of a stressful deal going on with my business back then. With Advanced Recovery, we do all kinds of disaster restoration stuff, and working with insurance companies and getting paid is sometimes a pain, which I'm sure some of you might.
And a lot of our listeners are small business owners, and collecting and making payroll are definitely some hot topics, especially right now with the crisis we're all experiencing.
Exactly. So anyway, so my wife suggested we take a couple of dance classes, and I'm not one that let myself go way out of shape, but at first, there was a couple of dance classes back to back. At least at the beginning, especially, I was really tired after the 2 hours just of the dance class. I couldn't even do the social dancing. I had to go home. I was tired,
Wow.
But after a while, I started not only enjoying the dancing more and more, but I started getting into shape, and then I started learning another dance style called West Coast Swing, which was a lot of fun. A lot more challenging, a little trickier to learn some of the basics on that one. But it was funny because really it got to the point where I started dancing more and more nights of the week. I started enjoying it more and more, getting in better and better shape. It got to the point where I could really deal with the stress in the day a lot better because I knew that at the end of the day I was going to have fun. I was going to go out and dance and have fun and learn something and get some exercise, and it's just been the most wonderful thing I think I've ever done in my life, really, to to manage stress and to help me with dealing with the pressures of my business. Things have really turned around a lot more. We're much more successful now, even than we were. And I'm not working myself to death. Just I have a much fresher perspective when I arrive at business and take care of business. And it doesn't matter what blows through my day, because at the end of the day, I know I'm going to be able to relax and have fun. And it's just been a tremendous thing. And I've mastered a lot of dance styles. I've learned waltz and foxtrot and tango and swing and
Wow.
just a whole mass of different dance styles. I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. And there's Arthur Murray all over the country. They're a very large franchise. I haven't even checked out any other franchises, but I will say that that organization really knows how to take someone that knows nothing about dancing and can move them into enjoying dance. I see people of all ages, from all walks of life there. And you know, I one of the things they teach, and I like to relate this, is, you know, when you first start learning how to dance, you go from not knowing anything about how to dance up to the first step, which is awkward motion.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what awkward motion means?
Well, when you first start learning how to dance, obviously, you know, you're learning the steps and you're there with the instructor, and at first you just kind of feel awkward and you're not really on time, and it's just, you move up to the awkward motion. Then you get up to the point where you can actually do the moves if you think really hard about them, you know? And then you keep doing it, and after a while, then you're doing it without even having to think about it. And that's when it really becomes really fun, okay? And it doesn't take that long. But I'll tell you, I really do suggest it. And any art form, maybe before I started dancing, I've done other art forms as well. If you can't dance, you can paint, you know, if you, or you can sculpt. I mean, there's always a way to find a release, but being creative is a lot of fun. But dancing is wonderful because it's social and you're interacting with others, and it just takes it to a totally different level. So anyway, you can tell I like it, and it's really made my business life and my whole life as a whole much more bearable and enjoyable. So
That's awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
sure.